Hey everyone, last night we got our last strengthenings for this anniversary, and it was the OG himself, Merlin, one of the original, just best characters in the game. He came out a long time ago now, but he really impacted the game, and was just really, really strong, and is still pretty strong. I think Merlin has sort of fallen off a little bit because of how the game has evolved. You really need your supports to have a lot of battery, and that was one of his issues now is that he only gives 20% battery, and he's sort of now just like challenge quest focused because obviously you don't necessarily need battery in challenge quests, but he still has a lot of tools for hard mode long content, right? One of his sort of last bastions of relevancy was the Immortal comp, right? Where you go him, Castor Toria, and then either Morgan or Himiko or something like that. Now with Lady Avalon or Proto Merlin in the game, that's sort of shifted to like an arts thing. You can still do the Buster version, but now it's sort of you go Merlin, Artoria, and you just really need those two now, right? Because Proto Merlin gives overcharge. So really cool to see him buffed. I think he needed it. I think he needed it like 2 or 3 years ago. But it is one of those like surreal moments, like wow. Definitely you feel old, right? If you've been playing the game for a while and he got buffed. As you can see, I haven't used him that much because on this account I actually got him like way later past his, like I never had him originally, so I got him way later past sort of his like peak. And yeah, really strong character, one of the original best characters in the game, and he got buffed. So what was his buff? So I'm in the game right now. Obviously it's in Japanese, so I can't read the buff, but we're gonna go to the wiki. Let's see. Yep. And so they buffed his second skill, which is his party invincibility skill. So the original party invincibility skill, Illusion, it was grant party invincible for 1 turn, really strong. Increases party's critical star generation rate for 1 turn. 1 turn, 50%. Again, like you have to keep in mind like all of this stuff back then was like, whoa. Nowadays, this is pretty rough. One of the big parts of this was reduces all enemies' critical attack chance for 3 turns by 20%. That's a really strong ability. Sort of like an underrated ability, especially when you're running like berserkers and stuff. Berserkers can just get looked at and die, right? If it's a critical look, and that's pretty rough. So this was a really good skill, but they buffed it, so now increases the star gen rate for 3 turns, which is nice. Increases the party's critical attack damage or critical damage for 3 turns by 50%, and then charges the party skill or party's NP by 10%. So now he has a total of 30% charge in his kit, and he has 150% crit damage because, of course, his iconic skill, Hero Creation EX, Buster 50% up, HP 3000 up, and crit damage 100%. So now he's going to be doing 150% crit damage up to a certain person, and then the rest of the party gets 50% up. That's really strong, especially for Buster Servants, as most Buster Servants are crit focused, and that's where they really shine, because they just get crazy, crazy numbers. I think this is an awesome, awesome buff. Makes it so that he keeps his niche of like, or his new niche of like challenge quest Buster support. And honestly, we needed, not before like quick stuff, right? Like, yeah, not like we need this before quick stuff, but we did need some sort of help for Buster like challenge quest stuff. That's in my opinion, because most of the supports are like Koinskaya, who kind of one and done, right? You go, buff, and then you do the MP gauge, and then she's kind of useless, and then Old Baron, Oberon, who is mostly for farming and is pretty hard to use in challenge quests because then your guy gets put to sleep. So, like this is really strong, really good, really makes it so that he keeps his Buster niche, and helps Buster a lot. And I think this is just an awesome change. Thinking about, certain characters that, would really benefit from this, I think now you can definitely go back to the Himiko, Merlin, and Cassatoria comp. For that comp, which is one I used a lot, you basically just go, okay, stall, stall, stall. Oh, Himiko 100% Buster, boom, and then you do like 250, right? And so now you're going to be doing a lot more damage on that random chance where you go, okay, here's a Himiko Buster card with 100% crit, Personally, I liked the Himiko comp more than Morgan, because Morgan felt like, hey, if if stuff goes down, she just auto dies. Like, she can just die because she's a berserker. Himiko, obviously she's a ruler, so she doesn't die as well. Obviously, it is more like a stall comp, because it takes a while to kill people, to finish stuff. But overall, this is an awesome change. He still has that NP that's always going to be relevant, always going to be good. The recover HP for 5 turns, charges MP gauge by 5% for 5 turns, and then gains crit stars every turn for 5 turns. You're going to be able to stack this a couple times. That's usually how he works. There's going to be some turns where you get 2 or 3 hits of like the NP and the heal and the crit stars, which is really awesome. And yeah, he's just really good now. I think my only sort of, I don't want to say issue, but I do think this is mostly about the crit damage. I think that is the main buff here. I think the other 2 things are sort of just kind of weak. I mean, the crit star generation is not going to really help too much with Buster characters. And then 10% NP is it's not that good, honestly. It's not that good. I don't think he could have been like a 50% charger. Obviously, that would have made him absurd. But it's just, I don't know. 30%. It's also, or 10%. It's also on like a defensive skill. That is another issue, is this skill is a defensive skill, and then the rest of it is like buffs, One other important change, kind of buried the lead on this skill, is that the cooldown was reduced from 7 to 6 turns, which is really awesome. That's really good. 7 turns for a 1-turn party invincibility was pretty rough. I remember back in the day definitely doing like Tamamo, strats where you do the skill cooldown and stuff, try to mash the invincibility as much as possible. But yeah, pretty good buff. Pretty cool to see him get buffed, because in my opinion he needed it for a while. And yeah, I think he was very ahead of his time, and I don't think you need to buff a character like this too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I did want to touch one thing on, I didn't talk about a lot of the buffs this year, just because a lot of the characters were not, characters that I care too much about. But one buff I did want to talk about is Billy. Billy's buff is wild. This is just, little side tangent thing. Billy is really insane now. His third skill going, the third skill used to just be evasion for 1 turn, and then 32% crit damage up for 3 turns. And Billy was always like a pretty good 3-star servant, right? Now, the Boy Bandit King, that's a broken name, has the evade, bumps the crit damage up to 50%, increases own quick performance by 30%, star absorption for 1 turn 500, and gain 30 stars. So he's going to be hitting, if he sees, his whole hand, if he sees, 3 quick cards or whatever, he's going to go bonkers. It's crazy. I really like this buff. I really like when they make 3 stars strong, because I think that's a really important part of the game is, hey, you're not going to be able to get every 5-star, And I think he's a really strong archer. And yeah, Billy's really good. Still has the 50% gauge, of course, MP charge. And, total, he's going to be getting up to 170%, because his first skill is the marksmanship, where 120% crit damage up for 1 turn. So that's definitely like the turn where you see all your cards, and yeah, really cool, really strong. I think I like the way he's gonna play, where it's like, okay, these two skills, the first and the third skill are like the, hey, here's my, here's my perfect turn, I'm gonna go off. The other skill helps you charge the NP, and then you can, mesh the MP into those turns that you don't have the, a chain. His NP, of course, is still really good. This got buffed a while ago, but it's ignore evasion, deals damage, and then reduces their critical attack chance for 3 turns. Just a pretty strong NP, especially since it's buffed. So yeah, just wanted to touch on, like, hey, Billy's pretty good. Like, Billy's a really strong archer now. Especially, like, single target. And if we ever get that little quick support that we need, definitely look out for him. Who else got buffed? Let's just see. Cleopatra, I think Cleopatra was the only one that I got correct when I guessed in the video I did a while ago. The buff was like, it's fine, it's fine. I think Cleopatra's still like a cool niche, type character. And again, we're waiting, like, would love to see her get a second buff. I think she's a really well-designed, cool character, but I don't think this was, like, the full thing. Like, she got the MP charge, she got the buff chance, so now her first skill is gonna hit, 100%, but it's, her skill cooldowns are still pretty low. Like, this first skill cooldown is pretty low. But yeah, I think, overall, pretty happy with the buffs. I think selfishly, not a ton of characters that I really like, was like, going, like, why, for. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the Merlin buff. That was the main part of this video. I just wanted to touch on the Billy stuff a little bit. And do you guys have Merlin? Does this buff make you want to get Merlin if you don't have him? Because, of course, he's rated up right now. We're going right into summer, which is, a lot of probably strong, good characters. But yeah, does this make you want to, like, get him? Is there some sort of team comp you guys have in mind that's like, oh, now we're cooking, But yeah, let me know. One comp I was thinking about, just in general, which I'm going to talk about in the next video I do, is now with the 5th append, Summer BB becomes pretty cool, and there's, like, some stuff you can do. And I feel like Merlin could help with that, because, of course, Summer BB generates a lot of stars from her 3rd ability. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Did want to say, in a couple days, summer starts, and we're going to be streaming. Of course, you know what's on the agenda. CL, we're going to get it. I'm at like 1,000 quartz, which I think is the highest I've ever had, like, at one time on my account. We got like 150 tickets. We're going to go crazy. It's all gone, like, it's all going to go. And it's going to be a fun stream. I'll have the details and stuff up for that probably today or tomorrow. That'll be Tuesday night. I'm in PST, so whatever that, or technically like Wednesday morning, but I'll have all the info, you guys will be able to see. So love to see you guys there. It'll be a lot of fun. Definitely look out for a ton of videos in this next stretch, because once we get CL, I'm going to be doing a ton of videos about her, about Summer, everything like that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And we're like 37 subs away from 700, and my goal is to get 700 before we hit summer. So if you guys can help with that, that'd be awesome. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.